Hey, Super Second Grade Squad. Welcome to this week's ELA Skills video. I'm Emily Scott, a second grade teacher here at Henderson Ward Stewart, and I just want to take a few minutes to share with you what some of your students will be learning this week. So our main resource is going to be the Ready Reading Workbook, Lesson 8. It's called Determining the Central Message. So the learning target this week is knowing which events are most important in a story, and that will help you figure out the story's lesson or central message. So one of the words we're going to talk about this week is events, which are just things that happen in a story. And so you're going to want to talk about what are the most important things from the beginning and the middle and end. And then by the time you get to the end of the story, the characters or the readers themselves, that's us, should be learning some kind of a central message or lesson or a moral to the story. So last week we talked a lot about fables and folk tales and tall tales, and I gave you some of the characteristics of fables and tall tales, but we didn't talk much about folk tales. So I want to give you the 6 main characteristics of a folk tale. So first of all folk tales originally started out as stories that were spoken by word of mouth, so from generation to generation. Second, folk tales are going to have some kind of a moral or lesson at the end of each story. Third, folk tales often explain how things came to be. Those are called creation myths. So how the Grand Canyon was formed, how a river was formed, things like that. Number 4, the characters in folk tales, just like fables, are usually animals, and a lot of times they will have human characteristics. Folk tales do sometimes have people, though, more often than a fable does. The 5th thing is that the character in the folk tale, whether it's an animal or a person, is usually going to be up against some kind of an impossible test that they have to pass. And then last but not least, many folk tales have the rule of 3. Think about things like the 3 little pigs, Goldilocks and the 3 bears. So events or characters will often happen in a series of 3 things. To help your child prepare for the assessment that's coming up this week, the main thing you can do is just read them some of the main folk tales that we're used to hearing. You can find those either with library books, or you can just hop on YouTube and type in folk tales for kids, and you can watch some of those read aloud folk tales with your child, and then ask them a couple of questions like this. Have them talk you through what are the most important events that happened in that story. Have them identify what the big lesson is that the character learned, and then talk to them about how they can apply that lesson to their own life. And then something else they will have to do in the test this week is have them tell you what events in the story taught the character that lesson. What was it that happened that made the character finally understand or learn that lesson? Switching over now to language, your child is going to be talking with your teacher or with their teacher about shades of meaning. So it sounds complicated, but it's really not. So shades of meaning, which means that there are some words that have about the same meaning, but one of those words might have a stronger connotation or just be a stronger, clearer word to help readers understand. So for example, if you said this room is chilly or this room is freezing, which is a stronger word, chilly or freezing? Freezing is stronger. So also think about things like the word big or humongous. If I say that that statue is big or that statue is humongous, which one has a stronger, clearer meaning? Humongous. So our big goal this week is to talk to the kids and have them understand that using words with a stronger meaning is going to improve their writing pieces and help the reader to better understand what they're trying to convey or what message they're trying to get across. And last but not least, we're doing narrative writing in writing class. So still talking about a story opener with characters and setting, going through the actions until the story is done. So your child will be writing more independently than this week than they have the past 2 weeks. If you have any questions, get with your child's teacher, and we'll happy to help in any way that we can. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. All right, bye-bye.